Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chalk Talk here on the DK Pittsburgh Sports Steelers YouTube channel and DKPittsburghSports.com. Chris Alec here, breaking down several plays from the Steelers' loss to the Colts. The defense just got absolutely shredded, especially early in this game. Just not good all the way around. There was no one way to put it. The one thing that I wanted to kind of illustrate here with these plays is that it really did come down to a number of different things. It wasn't just the schematics. It wasn't just lack of player execution. It was all of the above. And that's really what I wanted to get into with this. Because here right off the bat, there was a play to be made. So get used to this. So I'm just going to, for those who aren't aware, the Steelers run out of cover three. I won't say exclusively, but they run out of cover. They're a cover three defense. And so for anybody who doesn't know what cover three is, cover three, you've got your deep thirds taken care of by typically a safety and two corners. And then underneath, you've got these two zones are guarded. Those are the hook zones or curl zones. And then you've got the flat area that could be guarded by either a safety or a linebacker, or sometimes an edge rusher, obviously depends on the scheme. What the Steelers scheme would be, either an inside linebacker, edge rusher, could be safety. Cover three does a great job of blending both the ability to defend the run and also prevent the deep ball. But there are holes to it. And Shane Steichen, the offensive coordinator of the Colts, as you can see through some of these plays that I'm going to highlight, knows how to attack cover three. So let's watch this play here develop. This is the first play of the game. Anthony Richardson stands in, four-man rush, typical with cover three, and they get a completion. And this is, in my estimation here, this is a play that has to be made. I don't want to take credit away from Anthony Richardson. Richardson makes a heck of a throw here. I'm not denying that. But this is a play. So typically, let's do that. Do this again. You get the zones pulled up. You've got, this is your typical cover three responsibilities. What offensive coordinators will try to do is scheme things up where you're attacking in between and in these windows. Cover three specifically is really weak here in the seams. Think about all those times that the Patriots, that Tom Brady would hit Rob Gronkowski wide open up the seam. Why is that? Cover three defense. This throw is not in one of those windows. This throw literally goes straight into that zone. So watch it play out again. Now Joey Porter, he's getting the deep third. Now he's a little slow to get back. With that guy running the deep route. Oh crap, reaction's a little late. And so Minka compensates. Minka, goes over. He's going to kind of cover that for him. Fortunately for Porter is that, Michael Pittman Jr. here, the receiver, he's actually running he's actually running this high crosser here straight into that zone we were just talking about. Okay? And so Porter does a good job of, recognizing, his zone. He stops and starts to make a break on the ball and just doesn't make the play. Now, again, you can give credit to Anthony Richardson for a heck of a throw, putting it high so that Porter can't get it, but this is a play that Porter has to make a play. There's just, you can say, oh, yeah, you got to tip your cap, but, he read it. He's there. If you can't make a play on the ball, what's the other thing you can make a play on? Well, the player. You can make a play on the player. It just didn't do it. So that right there to me is lack of execution. That's not anything else. Next play here. This is where you kind of see Shane Steichen's game plan of attacking the Steelers cover three. So it's the same thing here, same responsibilities. it's usually different responsibilities around. The Steelers aren't even disguising it here. I mean, you can easily see that this is going to be cover 3. I mean, again, remember deep thirds. I mean, boom, boom. You already got the safety right there in the middle. They're not even trying to disguise cover 3 here. But remember, you've got your man. I'm all over the place with the chalk today. Remember, you got these 4 zones here, right? You got these 4 zones, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Steichen a few different times hits this window right here. Really attacked that window. And, watch as this play develops. Richardson, he's got time. Again, 4-man rush, which you expect. And you can see, this receiver here runs a quick little out, but then he stops and he sits in that window. Richardson knows. It doesn't always have to be like a typical, this is an out route, so I have to run to the sideline. He knows, like, okay, I can sit in this window. It's going to be there. And boom, there it is. And, you get the end zone angle here, and you're going to see it even better. Landon Roberts here, he's going to be dropping back, into that hook curl zone. Patrick Queen, he's going to be doing the same thing. They're both going to be going in their own zones. And then TJ Watt right here, he's responsible for the flat. So he's going to go out into the flat and cover that area. And I mean, this is what happens sometimes with cover 3. Now, people can say, you can say, just say, oh, well, tip your cap. They're paid to, they get paid too, and they're going to make plays. Well, I mean, this is a problem though. If you're facing an offensive coordinator, and my God, Shane Steichen 3 years in a row now has faced the Steelers. First time in 2022 as offensive coordinator of the Eagles. And then the past 2 seasons, this year and last year, as head coach of the Colts, and they've put up numbers and yards in all 3 of those games. It doesn't matter if he's had Jalen Hurts or Gardner Minshew or Anthony Richardson or Joe Flacco at quarterback. They've been putting up points and yards. Next play here, this is where you really begin to kind of see how Steichen really kind of schemes some things up, because this starts off here as a 4x1, and this guy right here actually has moved in motion from here, and he comes in motion over here, and he's going to line up right here in the slot. When that happens, watch Peyton Wilson here. So he moves in motion. Now watch Peyton Wilson here. He kind of shifts over here. Let's rewind that. Peyton Wilson, let's highlight him here. There's Peyton Wilson. And he kind of does this he kind of widens out a little bit. And when he widens out, watch what happens here with this play. Let the play out here. And look how wide open that window is. That's going right after a rookie. That's understanding how to attack cover 3. And it's the same exact window, by the way. Now, the Steelers here are trying to disguise this a bit. They're showing, this you could say palms coverage, or, quarters, whatever you want to say. They're showing that they're going to be in this quarters coverage, that it's going to be, this guy going back, this guy going back, this guy going back, this guy going back. That's what they're showing. But really what they're doing is a cover 3 buzz. So, you've got your deep thirds. This safety is going to come into this zone. The 2 corners are going to go get the deep thirds, and then this safety right here is actually going to go down into this, hook curl zone. There's going to be this hook curl zone, and you got the flat here, and then you've got the flat here, right? And so that's the cover 3 buzz. And when Wilson widens here, he's thinking, okay, this guy right here, I got to make sure that I'm covering, this flat area. But, this is just a good execution of an option route. So he probably has the option to either break this out, to sit, or to kind of like wrap in there. And again, when this window widens as much as it did, I mean that's wide open. Again, this is an offensive coordinator. This is a head coach who knows how to attack cover 3, and he did it very, very well in this game. I mean, this is easy pitch and catch here. And so this is all in the first quarter, by the way. This right here is the first play that I'm showing out of the second quarter. And again, the Colts are trying to attack. This is a very similar play. Remember that first play that the Colts ran? You know, this receiver here, he ran just a clear, while this guy over here ran a crosser, and that ended up being the big hit, you know, on this play right there. This right here, this guy is going to run a crosser again, and then this guy is going to run an out. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to stress, Joey Porter Jr. here, who did not have a good game. They're trying to stress him because what he's going to be doing is he's going to be going back and getting this deep third because the Steelers are in cover 3 again. You know, because Porter's going to get that deep third. Safety's got this deep third. Corner's got that deep third. And again, this is just another play that could be made. And almost a carbon copy, but because it's not as much field to work with, Porter he's not as responsible for as much field. And so he's able to read this. He does a good job, you know, right here when the receiver breaks out, knowing that, okay, there's nobody in the flat down here. Like, this is wide open. There's nobody there. So the flat defender, you know, good on the flat defender. I can't see who that is from here. But good on the flat defender for getting depth there and taking away this guy. You know, he's now kind of out of the play, and then Porter does a good job of passing him off there so that he can stay back in this deep third, and then, you know, he's able to make a play on it, and it just doesn't make the catch. That's a dropped pick. That saves points. That's what separates the good defenses from the great defenses, the average defenses from the good defenses. I mean, this is a play that if you're looking to be a playmaker in this league, and Joey Porter Jr. absolutely has the tools to do it, that has to be picked off. There's just no two ways around it. All right, so this is where I don't want to try to pause too much or anything like that. But before I even get into this, so this is second quarter. This is after the Colts have been up by multiple scores. I don't remember if it was 14-0 or 17-0 by this point. But the Steelers did make an adjustment here. They did make an in-game adjustment. Coaches making an in-game adjustment. On all of the Colts dropbacks in the first quarter, they were in cover 3 exclusively. Now, they didn't run cover 3 exclusively because sometimes those plays are runs. But on all of the Colts dropbacks, the Steelers were in cover 3 exclusively in the first quarter. That was not the case in the second quarter or even for the rest of the game. They did throw in some man coverage, whether it was cover 2 or cover 1. They did throw in man coverage. This is an example of that, so I'll let this play out. Steelers were kind of trying to disguise a little bit there, not too much, but this is cover 2 man across the board here. Let's rewind this. So what ends up happening here, again, if you're not familiar with coverages, cover 2, it's the same principle as cover 3, but instead of 3 deep, it's 2 deep. So you've got 2 deep. This safety's got this area. This safety is going to go get that area. And then you can do cover 2 zone. You could do Tampa 2, or you can do cover 2 man. This really is man across the board. So these are the responsibilities here. That's the play. They're doing a 4-man rush. It's cover 2 man. This is easy peasy. And Joey Porter Jr. down here just gets beat to the inside. He's playing off, which, again, if you're trying to disguise this as potentially cover 3, where, you know, this guy's going to drop back, this guy's going to drop back, this guy's going to drop back. Maybe you're trying to do that, you know, who knows? It's kind of looking like that to me. It's looking like they're maybe trying to disguise this a bit as cover 3, but either way, that's not what it is. Now, granted, Porter doesn't have to be pressing in every single, and I'll explain that after this play's over, but, you know, watch down there. Porter just gets beat to the inside. Even the coaching staff tries to adjust and make make a call, players got to make plays, and he didn't make a play there. And, some people are like, well, he's a press corner. He should be pressed up. Well, Porter also made some plays off the ball last year too, so it's not like he can't do it. He absolutely can. So here, I'll let this play out, but you can already see, count the guys that are high. 1, 2, 3. This looks like they're going to be in cover 3 or cover 1 maybe. Definitely middle field closed. Let's let it play out. Oh, here comes a blitz. And nice little RPO from the Colts there. This is definitely cover 1, which, you've got your safety, and he's got all of that. And then this really is, again, man across the board. But you're bringing an extra guy. Deshaun Elliott comes on a blitz. And Porter is responsible for the guy who ends up making the catch. Now, granted, he's playing off again. And so, maybe Steichen saw some stuff on film in which, sometimes Porter, whenever he's in man or they're trying to disguise that he's going to be off, and let's take advantage of that. Let's run some RPOs and take advantage of the space. And that's exactly what happens here. This is an easy pitch and catch, even whenever you bring an extra guy. So, again, this is just, to me, this is failure across the board. This is being outcoached, but this is also lack of execution by players, All right, next play here. Steelers definitely disguising some sort of too high look. And this, safeties rotate. They go into cover 3. I believe this is third quarter. And this is a pretty important, if I remember, this was a third down. In the second half, the Colts killed them on third down. Again, remember these windows that I told you about. Okay, so let's see here. So Steelers are disguising cover 4 or some sort of too high look. But really what's going to end up happening here, you've got your deep thirds. This guy is going to go here. This safety is going to take this area. This corner is going to take that area. And so now this safety is going to come, and he's going to take, and that's Minkah Fitzpatrick, by the way. He's going to take that hook curl area. You got this hook curl area. You got this flat, and then you got this flat. So there's your cover 3. And when Minkah comes over and takes that away, he's kind of there. That's not a very big window. But it's still like it's still executed. Like this is, and the thing is, it's that same window. It's that same window between the hook and the hook curl and the flat area. It's that same window, right in between here. It's that same window right there. Let me illustrate that. You got that window. Now that's a lot thinner than some of the windows that were there earlier in the game. But maybe that's why the window was a little more thin that time, because the Steelers were seeing this on the sideline and being like, we got to stop leaving that window open because they keep hitting it. But they still hit it on this play, moved the chains. They didn't get enough done. And you can see Minkah comes over. He sees this. He kind of sniffed this out a little bit. I remember seeing this play live and thought that he was about to make a play. And just didn't happen. Sometimes you can put this on the coordinators. Sometimes you just got to put on the players. Again, this is just more and more of the same. This does look more like cover 6 to me than cover 3. Because you got too high here, over here. They're more, they look like they're more like on that side, while this guy's coming back and taking away this area. That would be more cover 6. Again, you kind of split the field in half, and you would have, cover 2. Oh, shoot. You would have, cover 2 on this side. You would have cover 4 on that side. That's cover 6. But again, you let this play out. You see the underneath defenders. You still got this area, this area, this area, and this area underneath. This guy's responsible for here. This guy's responsible there. This guy's got already in his zone. This guy's got that area, and that window is just wide open again. It's the same window. They didn't do it every single time, but I definitely saw this as a recurring theme that this same window was getting hit over and over again. And that's wide open. I mean, there's wide open stuff. And then, of course, there's just flat-out miscommunication. This is the last play that I'll show here. It's already a long video to begin with. It's already over 20 minutes now. This is just a busted coverage here. It looks like the Steelers are in a too high. They look like they're in cover 2. It looks like this should have been Tampa 2, maybe, because you've got your deep halves here. So he's got that. He's got that. This guy kind of widens out here. Tampa 2, for anybody who doesn't know, you would have that, and then you would have this. You'd have this. You'd have this, and you'd have this. And then some defender would kind of drop back in this area right here where it's a pseudo cover 3, but it's cover 2. It's a cover 2 that acts more like cover 3. It looks like that's what this should have been, maybe, but it wasn't, because Beanie Bishop here is thinking somehow that he's in man. And so when this guy for the Colts runs a drag, write that better, Bishop goes with him the whole way. And I mean, you can just see right here, because he goes with him. I mean, these guys right here 100% are playing zone defense. And just look at this gaping area that is being vacated. By the time that I'm that is a wide area for there to be no Steelers around. That is a clear, just busted coverage. Again, looks like it should have been maybe Tampa 2 to me. Don't know 100%, but that's just a flat-out busted coverage. So I hope you got a good indication of everything that kind of went wrong coverage-wise for this team. It wasn't just the coaching. It wasn't just lack of player execution. It really was a mix of everything. It was just failure across the board. It really was. Just lack of execution, not having an answer for Steichen attacking cover 3, miscommunication, busted coverages. It was not a good day for the Steelers in coverage. They didn't run enough man, didn't blitz enough, especially once Flacco got into the game. They probably should have done that, but they didn't. Just was not a good game. So hopefully they learned a lot from the tape. Again, this isn't anything groundbreaking here. This isn't like the most exciting chalk talk to me, but wanted to kind of give you an idea that what Steichen was trying to do in terms of attacking the Steelers coverage, and then also show that it wasn't just that. Players need to make plays. That they don't need to be busting coverages the way that happened there on that. I mean, that was in the fourth quarter. That can't happen, especially when your offense is trying to dig out of a 17-0 hole, 17-3 hole. You're just putting them at a disadvantage there. So, all right. Sorry if that took a little long, over 24 minutes. Apologize for that, but I really hope that you have a better understanding of what happened here, and hopefully that now the Steelers have some things that they can that they at least put on film that they can correct. So until next week, after the Steelers play the Cowboys, I will hope that you have a good rest of your week, and we'll talk soon.